So this is the reverse only letters problem on Leetcode. So I'm just gonna run the code and show you it works before I get into it. Um, so yeah, 100 ms. So if you read the problem, it says given a string s, return the reverse string where all characters that are not a letter stay in the same place, and all the letters reverse reverse their positions. So let me just go to a clear, oh, that's in Python. Let me go to a clear space to explain this. So essentially what this is saying is that if you have AB dash CD, you basically want to reverse the entire thing. So it should return as DCBA. Um, the same thing with this one. As you can see, it starts with A, but it ends with A, and the letters after A comes like after A, as you can see, A, B, C, D. But it's not as simple as that. Because basically what you're kind of doing is forget about these dashes in the middle, and you're basically like flipping the entire string. But when it comes to the dash, um, all the characters that are not a letter stay in the same place. So all of these dashes, they should never move. They should just stay in the same index, the same position. Um, but these characters will all have different indexes as they completely flip. Um, so um, so basically, how I thought of this is that you need two pointers. So essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two pointers, a pointer that starts at the beginning index and a pointer that ends at the end index. Um, so for example, what I'm going to do is if if this is a character, if the left pointer is at a character and the right pointer is at a character, you're going to swap those two, and then you're going to increment both the left pointer and the right pointer. I can show you what I mean like by this. Um, so for example, let's say the left pointer is at A and the left pointer is at D. Are they both characters? Yes. So you swap them. So you're going to be left with D, D dash C A, and then the right pointer and the left pointer is going to increment. So the left pointer is going to move to B now, and the right pointer is going to move to C. Are these both characters? Yes. So what you're going to do is you're going to swap the B and the C, which is going to leave you with a DC, DC dash BA. And as you can see, um, both the left pointer and the right pointer are going to increment, and they're both going to equals that dash. You don't move it, and the loop's going to end there. So if you get basically, so that's how the algorithm is going to work. um, so what I did with my code is I created a character array. That's because I'm going to be doing swapping, and it's ideal to use a character array when you're doing swapping. When you're trying to swap the characters in a string, that can create problems and be a bit difficult. So what a character array essentially does is, let's say you have AB dash CD. All it does is it places it into an array of individual letters. So it's going to be like AB, a dash, a C, and a D. Pretty much like an array, which will have like a 0, 1, 2, 3. It's going to do it like that. And with an array, it's just easier to swap. So what I did was I created a while loop. So while left pointer is not less than, while the left pointer is less than the right pointer. And the reason I did that is because the left pointer can never should never surpass the right pointer. If they are equals or the left pointer is greater than the right pointer for some reason, then you just end the loop. Because let's say the left pointer is here and the right pointer is there, like that's just not possible. they're always going to converge in the middle somehow. And so you just do this. You say while the left pointer is less than the right pointer, you continue the loop. And what I did was I did a if statement to check if the character is a letter. So there's this method in Java, character.isLetter. It checks if an input you put in is a character. So I check if not. So let's say you're at A, B dash CD. Let's look at this example. If the character is not a letter, if the character where the pointer is at is not a letter, where the right pointer is at is not a letter. Okay, you're at D now. Then right pointer minus minus. That's because if the character is not a letter, then you don't want to swap it. So since the right pointer starts from the right, you're just gonna want to decrement it. You're just gonna want to decrement it. Let me add an example here. So let's say you start at this dash and this dash. This is like the right pointer is gonna be like, is this a character? No. So you let right minus minus? Is this a character? No. Left minus minus? Is this a letter? Yes. Is this a letter? Yes. So you're going to stay here. And it's going to be the same for the left pointer. Let's say we add another example. If it's going to check, is the character a letter? No. So you left pointer plus plus, character no, left plus plus. So if you get the idea. And then this if statement. So the next if statement here, the next if statement down here is going to check if the character is a letter, if the character at the right is a letter, and the character at the left. So if the character where the right pointer is at is a letter, and the left pointer, and the character where the left pointer is at is a letter, then you're going to go into this loop. So in this example, let me just remove those. You have an A, a D, an A, and a D. So yes, you're gonna go into this loop, and what this essentially does is swap the two letters. So you're gonna create a temporary variable. So the temporary in this example where it starts with an A, in this example I have up here, the temporary variable is going to store where the character which is at the left pointer. So it's going to store, so temp equals to A. And what you're going to do now is the left pointer, the character where the left pointer is at is going to be replaced by the character at the right pointer. And at this current moment, the right pointer equals to D, because the right pointer is at the very last index at the moment. So what you're going to do is assign the character A to D. And remember, so the left pointer has now completely changed to the right pointer's value. So how are you going to replace the right pointer's value with the left pointer's value since you erased it? Well, that's going to be solved as I created a temporary variable which stored the left pointer. And what you're going to do is you're going to store the right pointer in this temporary variable. No, I mean you're gonna like store the temporary variable at the position of the right pointer, and the temp variable contains the left pointer's value. And after you do this, you're going to increment the left pointer and decrement the right pointer, because as you remember, the right pointer is decrementing and the left pointer is incrementing as you swap each time. And this entire loop is going to continue over and over again until it can't do any more swaps. And then what you're going to do is since remember we placed all the values in a character array and we're doing the swapping in a character array, we have to basically return a string. And to convert a character array back to a string and not having it in an array, all you have to do is do string dot value of the whatever you called your character array, and it will return it back as a string. And that's pretty much how the algorithm works. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful, and yeah.